Welcome to this episode of CynSpeaks. In this episode, we're going to talk about the way that the ego shows up in service to others and how you can be more heartfelt in your purpose and how you're serving others. So, the important thing about service is the space in which it comes from. I talk a lot about serving others. It's so important to me. It's brought me so much joy. But when things got harder for me, it became harder for me to serve others. Now that was because of time restrictions and time constraints, but even finding that extra to give to others, I found difficult. And what that required me to do was really go within and see why that was difficult and why it was becoming harder for me to spend time at volunteering or with others, doing things for others. And it was because I wasn't feeling me. So my ego had to take over, and that was for self-preservation because I wasn't filling me up. And I was pouring into all these other people and all of these other projects that were not mine. And I got into a space where I didn't have anything because I wasn't taking care of me first. And that made it harder for me to serve others. So I just had to really reevaluate. And that was because life required me to. Life always stops me when it's time to reset and reevaluate and grow from a situation. So I had to see where I was coming from when I was helping these other people. That was tough for me because I didn't know in the beginning, and I had to really look and see, why wasn't I spending time on my projects? Why wasn't I bringing these projects to life? Because when my projects grow, then it will provide an opportunity for me to really help other people, to create jobs for people, to really get out in the community and have a huge impact and touch more lives if I brought my own projects to life. And I really realized that I wasn't spending time on my projects out of fear. And that for me was a fear of failure, which a lot of perfectionists will understand and empathize with. But I wasn't getting started because I was getting stuck in the analysis of all the moving parts. And I was afraid that it wouldn't work out for some reason. And because of those crazy thoughts, it didn't work out because I wasn't working on it and it wasn't coming to life. These projects weren't coming to life. So I had to shift my focus so I could actually produce my projects and then move on to helping other people with theirs. I had to serve myself before I could serve others. That was a hard pill to swallow because I really do find joy in helping other people. It makes me happy and excited and fulfilled. It makes me feel fulfilled to help other people, but I realized that it was really at the expense of my own dreams, and I had to stop. So I had to stop and shut down all the help that I was giving to other people because I needed to bring my own projects to life so that I could help even more people. That doesn't mean I'll never go back and help those people, but I just had to switch the focus to my own projects for a while. And now I'm in a space where I'm impacting more lives than I ever could have imagined by working on my projects that are designed to really, really help the masses. Another thing is finding the reason why you have a desire to help, because for me it was the lack of faith in my own abilities, essentially. And also, it made me feel something to help somebody else. It made me feel good. And it was filling me up in ways that I should have been filling myself up. And had my service come from a more full space, had I been practicing self-love and already felt full, my service, my space of service would have been more heart-based. If you're serving solely because it feels good for you, that's kind of ego-based. That's kind of not the reason why we serve. It feeling good for you is going to be a side effect for serving, because serving and helping others feels so good. But if that's the only reason that you're reaching out to help somebody else is so that you are filling yourself up, then you should be filling yourself up some other way. You should be doing that on your own. You should be finding a way to make yourself feel full so that when you reach out and serve somebody else, it's from a genuine and very clean space of wanting to help. And that's it. Just wanting to help the other person. So think about that when you're serving. If you stop and give a homeless person some money or some food, are you recording it every single time? Is that really for that person? Or is that for you? Like, why does the world need to see that you're serving if you're doing it out of a space of just love, pure love? If you're helping and you're looking for recognition every single time, is that really for you serving, or is that to serve you and your own ego? Think about that. When you are living your adventurous life as a soul in a human experience, also don't forget the adventure and the fun and how serving is part of that fun. Serve differently. There are a lot of people that serve one way, but you can find a unique way to use your passion and your gifts to really, really make an impact and really serve others. I found joy in helping bring life to others' projects, which I also think is a gift to teach and to help and to grow people. But I was using it in the wrong way. And when I shifted the focus on how I could really, really serve my gifts and harness and nurture those gifts and really use those with the focus to help many people, I found so much more happiness in what I was doing. And that changed the way that I practice coaching. That changed the way that I volunteer for projects that are not my own. It changed a lot of things, and I'm much happier and in a much more balanced state because of the fact that I stopped to look at why I was serving. Also, when you're traveling, look for opportunities to serve when you're traveling. And when you're traveling to other countries, an opportunity to serve is simply having a conversation with a local and asking questions about their culture, learning something in the process, and maybe sharing some information about your culture and where you're from. When you move to a new location, it's okay to meet your neighbors and make a couple of friends and learn about the new area that you live. Like, all of those things provide opportunities to serve. They also provide avenues for you to be blessed, but it provides opportunities for you to serve and help people in ways that may be really easy for you. And you never know what connections and relationships you'll build when you're serving and helping the world. And that perspective and that approach to service from a place of love, solely from a place of love, is beautiful. So if you are a servant, you are somebody that serves and you help and you teach and you heal, like, thank you for that, because that's what the world needs right now. And if you're not necessarily in a profession that is a helping or a healing profession, look at ways that your job actually does those things as a side effect. Like, people who do music may not be considered healers, but they are. People who do music heal so many people. People who do music teach. There are concepts that are in musical lyrics that are huge. A lot of people don't really break music down like that, but a lot of these artists are such deep healers. They are creatives, but there are so many more things. So if you're a musician or an artist in any way, like, thank you for your service, because I have some friends that are artists and I really don't think they realize how much their music helped me through moments. And when you listen to music, you can kind of get in alignment with your soul and tap into some feelings and either feel good or get through something. But music is huge. Movement goes with that as well. Like if you're a dancer, like you're healing, you're sharing energy, and I thank you. So there's so many professions that may not necessarily be directly categorized as a helping profession, but they are. If you're an administrative support person in an office, like, you're huge. You are so important because your team needs you to function, whether they tell you or not. You're serving. So look for those opportunities to serve. I worked in HR and I was a recruiter for so long. And near the end of my recruitment career, I started to run out of gas, we'll say, and get into a space where I wasn't excited about it anymore, because it felt like it was more about metrics and meeting a certain number of hires and submitting a certain number of candidates, and it didn't feel good for me anymore. But I had to wake up and start telling myself, okay, Cynamon, we're going to wake up today and we're going to give some people some jobs. Because at the end of the day, that's why I started. If you are struggling with finding the way that you serve in your job, look for the reason why you started in the first place. If you're a teacher, you wanted to help people. Like, you don't go into teaching for any other reason. That's a beautiful career. Like, so many teachers are so underthanked. I thank you. It's a tough job. I did it. It's very challenging, but it's so rewarding and so necessary. So look for the reason why you started what you do. And if that's to help people, which probably it is in some way, shape, or form, then thank you. Even if you got into your work industry or a specific line of work to make money, right? If you think about that, making money, the more money you make, the more money you spend, the more jobs you help create. Like, you're still helping the world if you're making money and spending money. So we'll have a whole money conversation on another episode, but just think about why you got started and look for the adventure in serving and the fun in that, and focus on that when it gets hard to serve. But also, if you're feeling like you need to take some time to focus on your projects instead of other people's, just don't feel guilty about that. Forgive yourself for not spending the time that you needed on your own projects, but also allow yourself the space to work on your stuff. Like, save yourself and then you can save others. I hope that helped. Make sure you add me on Instagram at Cynamon Voe. Make sure you subscribe, like, share, comment, and continue to help me. You guys are all amazing. Like, I hope my content helps you, but I want you guys to know that you guys give me a reason to keep producing content. So I really hope it helps. That's it for now.